This article came out in CNBC, and it reflects something we've been talking about for the last few years. You know, there is a declining white population in America, and it's only a matter of time before it actually shows up more and more in a public way. And this article is a direct reflection of that. So, for the first time in U.S. history, minorities make up the most new hires aged 25 to 54, and women are driving the trend. It is inevitable. This is how it's going to be from here on out, especially if you're not reproducing. This is how it's going to be each and every year from now on. So, minorities are making history entering the workforce in larger numbers than ever. The Washington Post analyzed Labor Department data extending back to the 1970s and found that last year, new working age hires were mostly people of color, outnumbering white hires. The Post defines these new hires as people within the prime working age, 25 to 54. The wave of female minorities getting jobs as white baby boomers retire has helped drive this historic trend. The Post notes their analysis shows that minority women increasingly began working in 2015, and their numbers have grown since. According to the Labor Department data, the number of people employed increased by 5.2 million since the end of 2016, and ethnic and racial minorities make up 4.5 million of that number. Wow, that is a huge bulk. So out of 5.2 million, 4.5 million are racial minorities. Wow. Woo. It's like they are getting wiped out of the labor force, especially in the group between 25 and 54. Minority families, on average, have long had less wealth than their white counterparts, but could be more financially stable with this latest trend. Yeah, they're in this mindset. Oh, well, look at South Africa. We're going to still have most of the wealth. Well, America is not South Africa. So making the comparison with the two countries is stupid. This is not South Africa. And the outcome is not going to be like South Africa. Number one, you have far more people in this country than South Africa. Number two, the black people in America are more educated. You got more of an educated population of black people in this country than South Africa. So you making the comparison is just asinine. The wealth is going to shift. It's inevitable. It's going to have to shift. If you're going to have a bigger minority population out here working throughout the country, it's going to shift. There's no way you're going to be able to hang on to all of it. There's no possible way. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Post reports that the big question will be seeing how long minorities can stay employed with high numbers. It's going to be from now on. That's not a question. It really isn't. If you don't see babies being born and you see a declining birth rate, it's not going to go back to the way it was before. Not unless by some fluke you start having babies, you start pumping out those babies. But we know that's not happening. All right, so given the signs of a slowing economy and job growth, the 2016 Federal Reserve data that the Post cites reveal the typical white family household had the highest level of median family wealth, with a net worth, the difference between family gross assets and their liabilities, exceeding $170,000. Meanwhile, the typical African American or Latino family household had a net worth falling below 21,000. Well, that's all going to shift, y'all. It's all going to shift. Despite the long-standing wealth disparities, employers in a tight labor market look outside their normal pool of candidates to fill open roles. Economists tell the Post, but there are other factors at play, sending minority women, especially, into work. A shift in cultural attitudes, as well as more women achieving higher education, signify two big reasons: astray from the old school mentality that women stay at home and take care of the children. The Post also cite the financial burden families feel to make ends meet, where establishing a two-income household becomes necessary. Some of the biggest job gainers, the Post report, are minority women older than 45 who are returning to work to make money after raising kids. Another reason for minority women entering the workforce is the threat of deportation. The Post cite data from the Migration Policy Institute that says more than 90% of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrests are of men. Women minorities are feeling more pressure to become the breadwinner of their families in fear their husbands could one day no longer be living in the country. Okay, well, that's totally different from the people that were born and raised here. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really truly believe this trend is here to stay. They already said the baby boomers is the last biggest white population in America. That being said, that means all of the younger generations behind the baby boomers, they are going to be the biggest ones in the workplace. And it's already being seen right now. That shift is already happening. And I've done articles where it says there's far fewer white children in America. Well, those children are going to grow up and one day be part of the workforce. That being said, it's not that many of them anymore, and it's being reflected now, already in 2019. No, it's not 2040, 2050, it's now. This is happening now. And they know it's happening sooner than those projected dates that we were given. I think it is stalling. It is a way of stalling. See, we're going to be in power until 2050. It's just buying time is what I believe it is. But now the shift is being seen out in the labor force already. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this. This is the new norm. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.